The only reason why you've gotten this far is because of your last name. And you faked it for 50 years. You are very old and you need to play your age and not 12. You are an old lady.
Hi, welcome to She Tells, where everything on this channel is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Now let's get into it. LaToya Jackson was born May 29, 1956 in Gary, Indiana, to Joe and Catherine Jackson. LaToya was the fifth of 9 children. Growing up, LaToya didn't have many friends and she was a shy kid. She spent her childhood and her teen years hanging out with mother Catherine. In the early 70s, her brothers would go on to take the world by storm as the famous Jackson 5. About time the mid-70s rolled around, record sales wasn't doing well. Manager/father had a great idea to pitch a variety show to NBC that featured all the siblings. It was picked up but shortly canceled 1 season later. The boys are now grown. They decide they want to go their separate ways and they fire Joe as a manager. So Joe had a great idea. I want to make a 3-girl band that consists of Rebe, Janet, and LaToya, which it also didn't go anywhere. Then Joe had another idea. I want to make LaToya the family superstar. Over the next 15 years, LaToya makes 9 studio albums, with Hearts Don't Lie charting at number 56 on the Hot 100s. I don't know about y'all, but I have never, ever heard any of LaToya's songs on the radio in the 80s and 90s. I never heard anybody call in acts for it to be played, and I never been in the car with anybody that said, hey, put that LaToya on. So Joe, he wants to get LaToya some exposure. So he puts her in the Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson video, Say, Say, Say. Then she also made a cameo in The Way You Make Me Feel. So years pass on. Her albums have little to no success. So she meets one of Joe's shady business partners named Jack Gordon. He said he was stunned by her beauty when he first met her. But to me, I think he's seen an opportunity. He's seen LaToya didn't have it all and he knew that she'd be easy to manipulate. So he steals LaToya from up under Joe and they try to make this music thing happen all over again. Because mind y'all, LaToya, she blamed Joe for all her records flopping. She said it was because he put her with inexperienced producers. It was because LaToya cannot sing, she had limited vocal skills, and she had lackluster performances. That was the reason why her albums did not sell, not Joe. So they go on trying to get LaToya out there, trying to put her album out there. Again, trying to get her exposure, and nothing stuck, nothing hit. So what was the next move? She'll start becoming famous off of her body and off of exposing her family.
Branded the black sheep of the family, LaToya Jackson made a career out of exposing her body and her family's dirty laundry.
March of 1989, she posed topless in Playboy. The issue does really well. People was lined up to buy this copy not only because she was a Jackson, but because their family was known for being very conservative in private. In 1991, she released a New York bestseller book, Growing Up in the Jackson Family. Later that year, she posed again for Playboy to promote the book. Before we go any further, I would like to give y'all a little tea about LaToya's husband. Before marrying LaToya, he was Joe's business partner. And before that, he was just released from prison for bribing a Nevada gaming official. And before that, y'all, he was working in a circus. He was a whole clown out here. I don't know what LaToya expected from him. Toya and her husband goes on this press run, doing all these interviews, talking bad about her family. The things she said about Michael and the family, I'm not going to repeat here, but there are other YouTube channels you guys can go look at to see what she said. But the things she did say was pretty horrific. Fed up with the abuse, and the other BS, LaToya finally divorces her husband in 1997, and also realizing that Playboy's centerfold in that book has taken her as far as it was going to take her. She would later go on to recant the horrific statements she made against her mother, her father, and her brother.
Why did Jack Gordon want you to say that your brother was a pedophile?
He had this hatred towards my brother that I can never explain to you why it was.
Just to make things very clear, you recanted your accusation. Are you sure today that your brother never had any undue relationship with a child?
Barbara, Michael is not. He is not.
If I was her family and I accepted her back in, trust and believe she'll be getting fed with a long spoon across the street, down the street, and across the freeway. I would not trust her. She let some opportunists come in and turn her against her family. And he was a nobody. So imagine what she would do when a somebody come through the door. LaToya claims before each interview, her husband will hand her a handwritten statement with bogus accusations against her family, and she will have to repeat and memorize it before each and every interview. Me personally, yes, I think he was a part of it, and she also was a part of it. Of course, LaToya will put it all on him to get back in good standings with her family. Later in life, after a failed music career, multiple books exposing her family, 50 interviews and hating on her siblings, she started doing reality television from 2007 to present. To name a few, Life with LaToya, Celebrity Apprentice, and Armed and Famous.
Do you know how your mommy turns on the stove?
Just kidding. Come on, guys. I know how to use a stove. Just give me a little bit of credit here.
Because we're working together as a team, as a group, and I want you to stay here to write. Those two are going shopping, not you.
Oh, I like the little bass in your voice, LaToya. Beat it.
No, I just don't want anybody just trying to run over me so that I had to tell her what to do.
No, boo.
Because this is a team effort. We're all working together here on the script, and I just want you to know that. No, please be quiet.
So basically what we had to do was go back to the house and get a report, which of course is quite normal.
I don't want to come in here.
They have a cat. Oh my gosh. I knew it.
Toya, you can come in.
No, I'm not coming in. I've had terrible experiences with cats. I was attacked by a cat, so I still had that fear in me. Oh my gosh, she cannot bring that cat.
Before I end this video, here are some fun facts about LaToya. Although Michael and Janet sold millions of records, LaToya has more music output than the both of them individually. This one here is embarrassing. LaToya started following Janet on Instagram, but Janet never followed her back, so LaToya unfollowed her. And last but not least, Prince wanted to date LaToya, but Michael wasn't having it. Everybody knows Mike and Prince had beef in the 80s. And those are the fun facts about LaToya. LaToya is now 65, living in Calabasas, California, with her latest appearance being on an episode of The Masked Singer in 2021. This concludes the video on LaToya Jackson. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please like, share, and subscribe.
Be gone. Disappear, ghost.